we're going. Okay, I don't know if you saw this article about.
Anybody saying Redman's not a top-notch lyricist does not know what they are talking about whatsoever.
Well, that's not the article I was talking about. Jalen Rose, his co-host Jacoby, he says Jalen Rose wants Eminem and Busta Rhymes to spit bars in the verses, but David Jacoby, his co-host, said he wants a bigger opponent for Eminem. Let me go to the actual
Hold on,
quote.
what Jalen Rose be doing? Stop.
So it says, can it be also simple with these two gentlemen spitting bars? This totally makes sense. This is Jalen talking now. He says they are personally connected. That's not going to make it a not going to make it contentious. But yet they both have styles that could go on and on and on. So both of these guys are doing the verses makes total sense. I'm with Swiss Beats. Let's make it happen. And shout out to Dr. Dre. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl performance. This is what Jalen Rose says. Let's see what his co-host says. All right. Oh yeah, I saw the Super Bowl lineup and I was like, yeah, it's so much better than the weekend. Bruno Mars, blah blah blah. Can't wait for that. But I will say this about Busta and Eminem. What I'll say about Busta and Eminem is recently they've been kind of matched up in sort of a like-minded acts. I can't think of two different styles that would be so different. And when I think of Eminem, I think of sort of a venomous but also extremely well crafted bars that he pours over again and again. And Busta has all the charisma and energy. I would like to see how that will play out on stage, but if I'm M, I might be holding out for a bigger opponent, bigger than Busta. One time Eminem was filling 100,000 seat arenas. That's what David Jacoby said. Um, what do you think about that? And he didn't really mention any other people who he thought were the bigger acts. And if we're talking about filling stadiums, I'm thinking he's talking about record sales and not just bigger in notoriety. What say you?
I say I don't watch a lot of TV, but that's one of the few shows that I actually watch. I'm a fan of the show. Um, so this is one of those. It's one of those murky lines for me because here's the thing: he's kind of been invited in here. If you watch the show, this is one of the few shows, which is why I like it, that openly brings on all types of rappers. So usually with a lot of these shows and mass media, they usually only bring our real famous rappers on. So Snoop can come on and so on and so forth. Now, like Griselda be on here. They went up to Buffalo for a Bills game.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when you bring people into the format of this culture and make them comfortable with it. And I'm not taking anything away from him. He might be ahead. If I'm not mistaken, he's a New Yorker, so he's obviously probably been raised around a lot of hip hop and hip hop culture. But he has to be very careful because here's what he's not. Well, he's not black now, is he? And here he is speaking on this culture, bigging up a white guy who most of us inside this culture feel like if he were to go against Busta Rhymes, he would get obliterated. So he needs to understand how poorly he's coming off right now inside of this culture in a sphere where a lot of us watch the show because of his co-host mostly making us feel welcome in that sphere. He needs to be mindful.
Okay. I got a lot to say about that too. I want to go to this this poll that we did on According to Hip Hop because I think it was yesterday. We asked the people what they thought who would win in the versus Busta Rhymes or Eminem,
The
and
75 to 25.
yeah, it was seven. It was over 7,000 votes, and Busta Rhymes got 2,720 votes, but Eminem got 4,311 votes. Eminem won 61% to 39%. Um, I think that there's a lot of popularity there, and that's fine. Because again, no one sold more records than Eminem. I think Tupac's like the closest or whatever. So if we're talking about bigger acts numerically, it's not really any other bigger acts to go to. But what I will say, I really want to see this thing happen because I want to see this catalog get exposed. I'm tired of people sitting here acting like I'm just singling this guy out because of his race or whatever people think. I want the catalog and the music to stand on its own, because at the end of the day, this is what this is about, right? We're here for music. If your music stands up, I don't care where you're from, what you did. I'm quoting the Backstreet Boys, by the way. But I don't care about any of that. You know what I'm saying? The music stands alone. And if Eminem's catalog is that strong, let's see. If people think he's gonna beat Busta Rhymes 61% to 39%, come on, let's see. Because this isn't one of those things where we could just continuously fantasize about what Eminem would do or whose career he would ruin in a battle or whatever. Ain't nothing but time and opportunity here, right? We got 20 songs. You play your 20 joints, play 20 Busta joints. Let's see what it is. Let's see if all this stuff that y'all said about this artist all these years stacks up. A bigger act. Who?
This
You want
is
to go
no,
against Nelly or
no,
something?
no. These are the dangerous things that happen when we let outside media control the narrative. Because what Jacoby is really saying is that for most of my life that I've been following this guy, who has this guy been getting grouped with? Well, he's been getting grouped with Biggie and Jay-Z and Nas and Tupac, and therefore that is how a lot of people look at him. And Mike, you're accurate when he's saying this. Oh, well, the catalog and the music ain't even nothing close to that. And so when you're talking about it being exposed, well, on that level, it does need to be exposed, because if you're thinking that his catalog is like that, oh, you are tripping. For one, I will say this, the songs that people gave us when we did the last show, I think it was either 1 or 2 shows ago when we spoke about him and asked people to name some songs.
Mm-hmm.
The songs were impressive. If you think that's about to beat Busta Rhymes' catalog, you don't know Busta Rhymes' catalog.
The only way to beat Busta Rhymes' catalog is if he throws the fight, and honestly, it would take him some real work to do that. No, you're right.
His catalog is as such that he can't throw the fight.
He can't.
Mike, if he were just to play his singles, it would be enough.
If he go out there and play Get Out of Here or something from Anarchy, I know the fix is in. But even that, he don't have a lot of those.
Mike, I think Anarchy is really the only one that's like that, where it's like, where the bang at?
Yeah, you're right. Cause not Fired Up. Is it Fire? Yeah, that Fire. Dun, 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 dun. He got some bangers on Anarchy, but you're right. It's not the stuff that was put out.
I mean, Mike, just off his singles alone, he would win almost all of those against him. Like his singles.
Listen,
like,
even regardless,
you can start from Wuha and work all the way down, Mike. And then if you start, Mike, and then when you start throwing in Scenario remix,
exactly.
Flavor in Your Ear remix.
We don't got to do Scenario remix. We can do the regular one.
Mike, Chris Brown, Look at Me Now.
Yeah.
Killer Scenario. Mike,
yeah.
No. Like, the 61%, it's like, I'm not trying to castigate Eminem, but if 61% of people up on our poll site think that Eminem want to fade Busta Rhymes, no.
This is the thing. This is exactly why I say what I say, and this is why I say Eminem's overrated. And I don't care what anyone says, he's the most overrated MC in the history of hip hop because of these things. That's not to say he can't rap or he's whack or whatever, but for anyone to feel like his catalog matched up against Busta Rhymes' catalog deserves a 61 percentile to 39 percentile.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we listening to?
What are we doing?
What are we listening to? And again, I want to see it. Because again, people pick favorites. People have their favorite rappers. People have their favorite actors. And they let whoever their favorites are get away with anything. You know, y'all love Barack Obama. You know what I mean? But let's just see what happens when these two guys get on stage and go 20-20.
Mike, I done told you about talking about Obama in public, Mike. Keep that behind the scenes. Can't be talking about Obama in public. Keeping that behind the scenes,
I didn't
Mike.
say anything. I said people like him.
Yeah, but you're saying you didn't like him when you said that.
I voted for him twice.
That ain't got nothing to do with liking somebody.
I don't know him. But I'm just saying, this is my thing though, all jokes aside, because I don't want people to get it confused. I just hold people accountable. And I think that the like that we have and the like and love we have for people sometimes gets in the way of people holding people accountable. Andre 3000 was my favorite rapper growing up. I still love him. I still love Outkast, but I hold him accountable.
Hey, Mike, I told you, Mike, Nas made me want to start rapping. Andre 3000 made me believe it could happen. He's from around these parts.
Listen,
and there's a lot of guys like me and like you that feel that way about him.
Outkast changed the way I looked at hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? And Andre was a big part. You know, at least me as an adolescent, really understanding like, yo, you can really go out here and be yourself. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that, and you can still be accepted as long as you're good at what you do. And I appreciate Andre for that. But with all that being said,
Mike,
I still hold him accountable.
Hold on. No. And you're absolutely right. But quick sidebar about that. Like, Andre is important to the sense that it's like, well, he was so great that he made somebody like T.I. believe, no. I can be, you get what I'm saying? That was the effect that he had. That those that came after him down here felt like they could be the best and at the top of this game, because that was the first time that we saw evidence of it's like, no, he might be the best MC.
Right.
Right.
And it's interesting because that wasn't the narrative while it was actually happening, while he was at his height. They waited until Outkast was inactive to start putting him in these conversations.
I think by Stankonia that had become the conversation, because you had started to notice the brevity at which they recorded and he recorded, and it kind of like AT-Aliens and Aquemini, his performances on there lyrically left you kind of like, oh my God.
The Real says, I think you can't discredit Eminem's success or catalog. I'm not discrediting anything. Who am I to discredit what he's done in his career? He's had an illustrious career. But what I am saying, for people to sit here and act like this man would beat Busta Rhymes in a Verzuz at that level, it's like, what music are you listening to? And do you not know Busta Rhymes' catalog? Like, this should be a lot closer. And for Jacoby, on top of that, to say Eminem needs a bigger, he should hold out for a bigger rapper, basically. Like, who else is bigger than Busta Rhymes? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of guys that got more hits than Busta Rhymes that's on some rap shit, to keep it real. Who's bigger?
Snoop. I told you, Snoop Dogg.
You think listen, man. Listen. Anybody who thinks that Eminem could go head up with Snoop Dogg in a Verzuz when we're talking about music and catalog is on the drugs that Marshall's on. Come on, man. Or was on. I'm sorry. That's crazy. So what you gonna do when he play Murder Was the Case? What you gonna do when he play Gin and Juice? What you gonna do when he play What's My Name?
Mike, just while we were sitting here, I just named 10 Busta tracks right quick. Listen to this. Like, just listen. I ain't even dig deep. This is without digging hard. This is what I'm talking about. Put your hands where my eyes can see. Woo-ha. Everything remains raw. Tear the roof off. I know what you want. Look at me now. Scenario. Give it to me. Give me some more. Flavor in Your Ear remix. If we want to go 11, scenario remix. Mike, that's off the top of my head. That's without digging. He's a problem.
What about Annie Up?
Mike, I just said that's without me digging. Like that's like as in like my stream of thought, just without me having
in the middle of a live show.
Right, in the middle of a stream thought of a live show, I can pull out 10 or 11 classic joints off the top of my head about Busta Rhymes. That's who Busta Rhymes is, Mike. I forgot about the Annie Up remix because I was just in a stream of thought live. Add that to it. Now we got 12. We live.
People are saying DMX. Well, I see SG is saying DMX low key beat Snoop in the Verzuz. No, he didn't. And rest in peace to DMX. And I think we went through that after it happened.
You remember Murder Was the Case? Did you hear that? No,
again, that was a game changing moment right there. At least for me, when we look at these guys' catalog, because I think it was Snoop's "What's My Name" versus DMX's "What's My Name," and I love DMX's "What's My Name," but it ain't even close.
It's not a conversation.
It ain't even close. But
the big moment, even realize it wasn't a conversation until it happened.
The big moment that night for me, like I told you, when DMX played "Slippin'," which is one of his best songs and one of the best songs of that era. Period.
One of the best written songs.
Yeah, incredible record. And then Snoop came with "Murder Was the Case." Sonically, that shit just dwarfed "Slippin'." It was like, whoa. I mean, look, I said it then and I say it now. I don't think anybody would have beat Snoop that night. Anybody.
Mike, now I'm dig, Mike. Now I'm digging. Dangerous. Touch it.
Did you say break your neck?
Past the Cavassier, Mike. I was about to say it. Break your neck. Come on,
you
man.
know, probably pulled out
Mike,
20 by now.
Mike, make it clap. He's got stuff everywhere, Mike. This is his stuff. It's a party with Jelan. You want me to keep going, Mike? We just named about 17 records.
I don't even think he gonna do It's a Party with Jelan.
I mean, he can. He's still gonna win.
Yeah. Even though we know Janet Jackson's not gonna come out, but if he does that record, I mean, what response do you have for that?
It's not too many responses in rap for that record, unless you made "I'll Be There for You," or you know what I'm saying? Like what you got?
Honestly, I think that's the matchup.
Beautiful
really.
by Snoop Dogg.
I think Method Man and Busta Rhymes is actually the matchup.
Be more highly competitive than this is because.
But I want to see this though. Like Terminator 2 says, I want to see this.
If M plays it perfectly, he's going to lose 12-8. If he plays it perfectly, he's going to lose 12-8.
I want to see this, and the fact that Dr. Dre put this out there either means that they're doing promo for the Super Bowl, which you don't need to do promo for. It's the fucking Super Bowl, but it makes me feel like it's gonna happen if Dre said it. If Dre put it out there, it makes me feel like it's gonna happen. I hope it does, because I want to be proven wrong. All you Eminem fans out there, you hear me? I want to be proven wrong. I want Eminem to go out there and smoke Busta Rhymes 61% to 39% or whatever people say.
Mike, light your ass on fire. Busta, what it is right now.
What it is right now is crazy. As I come back, it's crazy.
It's crazy, Mike.
The energy is crazy. I don't like how they're trying to write Busta Rhymes off as just like a performer, like he's not an MC or something. Because I think somebody was talking about, I think in the chat, they were saying, not in the chat, in one of the comment sections, they were basically saying Eminem's the lyricist, Busta Rhymes is the performer. I'm like, wait. Busta Rhymes is the lyricist too.
Mike, we just named 16 records live that Busta got.
Yeah, not even thinking.
I'm sorry, Scenario Remix would make it 17. 17.
He wouldn't even have to do that, but again, that's a great one too.
Mike, if he were to play these 17 songs and leave 3 slots blank, he would win.
But sonically, like you said, Scenario Remix, that beat is a problem.
That's why I would say the remix.
That beat is a problem. You know he's on the remix of, well, it was an unreleased remix. I think Just Blaze played it in one of his mixes to Pump It Up, Joe Budden. Because they used the same sample as the Scenario Remix. And so he kind of used pieces of that verse. So let's just say in a show setting, and he was really trying to obliterate somebody, he could do that verse and then go right into that Pump It Up shit.
Or
seamlessly.
He could drop that Biggie Nas Method Man track that we didn't know that he had till recently. What
about the track with him and Method Man? That was a crazy record too.
Yeah. No, have you heard about the unreleased track where Big is taking shots at Pac on the record that Busta didn't release? It's got Nas, Meth, and Big on it. Like Nas and Meth came to a couple sessions, Big didn't show up, and they didn't want to go till Big went, and then Big went, and then they went. But Busta didn't want to release it about all the tension. Like he got shit like that in there too. Like he came up in an era where there's a lot of shit like under the surface that just him bubbling it up would make niggas go wild. Just like if Q-Tip were to play Primo's original version of Memory Lane. You feel what I'm saying? Like Busta got shit like that too.
Well, I think Busta Rhymes had the halftime beat first, right?
I think so. I think that is how memory serves.
Yeah. Victory, all kind of stuff. Man, listen.
Victory.
I pray that it happens.
Victory, Mike. That's Mike. That gotta put that stadium flow, Mike.
The Dilla joint is crazy too. He got a few Dilla joints. Turn me up some.
You got Mike. That's what I'm saying. Y'all think M gonna win this? Are you listening to the stuff that we saying?
Listen. We're all out of the hyperboles and what could happen. Let's do it.
These are facts.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I pray to God it happens.
These are actual facts. These are 18 records right here.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens.